Morning class 9 students. Today I am discussing the second part of force and motion. Here I am first discussing Newton's first law of motion. Every body continues its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted on by some unbalanced force to change that state. This is Newton's first law. From this first law, generally, definition we get inertia of matter. First of all, we get inertia of rest. What is inertia of rest? I am giving you one example. Suppose one duster is there on the table and no one is removing it. That means it is a tendency to be there only in that particular resting condition. So the tendency of a body at rest to continue in that state is the inertia of rest. And tendency of a body in uniform motion in a straight line to continue in that state is known as the inertia of motion. One example we can take, one ball is moving on the floor. Until unless someone is going to stop it, it will move like this. That means it continues its motion. This is called inertia of motion. And if anyone is going to stop it, that means a force is being applied on that particular thing. So definition of force also comes from is Newton's first law. What is force? Force is that which acting on a body changes or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion of the body in a straight line. Here, some examples of inertia of rest and motion. A passenger leans forward on alighting to the ground from a running bus. Why? Because on touching the ground, the lower part of the body of that particular passenger comes to rest, but because ground is at rest condition, while the upper part of the body of that particular person still tends to continue in its state of motion with the speed of the running bus. Thus, he leans forward. Now, another example, when a running bus stops suddenly, a passenger sitting inside it leans forward. Here also, as soon as the bus stops, the lower portion of the body of the passenger being in contact with the bus stops immediately. But the upper portion of that particular person wants to maintain its motion due to inertia of motion and hence leans forward. Another example, when a bus suddenly starts, a passenger sitting in it leans backward. Why? As soon as the bus starts, the lower portion of the body begins to move along with the running bus. But upper portion of the body, due to inertia of rest, tends to continue in that state and thus leans backward. These are the daily life example of us. Newton's second law. When an unbalanced force acts on a body, then the applied force is proportional to the acceleration produced in it. If force is equal to F, mass of a body is equal to M, and acceleration is equal to A, then according to Newton's second law, we can say that F varies as A. Now, here variation sign we have taken, so we have to take a constant. So in the next line we can write therefore F is equal to M into A. M is a constant over here. So M is equal to mass of a body. Now what is momentum? Momentum is a property of a body possessed by virtue of its mass and velocity, and its magnitude is given by the product of its mass and velocity. So momentum P is equal to mass and velocity. Now the unit of momentum in CGS, it is gram centimeter per second, and in SI it is kg meter per second. Momentum has both magnitude and directions, so it is a vector quantity. A man when running fast has greater momentum than when he is running slow. I am giving you another example. When two balls of same mass, that means M is equal to same. when two balls of same mass moving with different velocities are stopped, the faster ball required larger force. So the ball having larger velocity, that is greater momentum, required larger force. So from this experiment, it is found that momentum of a moving body is proportional to its mass and velocity. That means when mass will increase, momentum will also increase. If mass will decrease, momentum will also decrease. Like this, when velocity will increase, momentum will increase. When velocity will decrease, momentum will also decrease. Unit of force. Absolute unit of force in CGS system is dyne. Now what is dyne? Dyne is a force which when acting on a body of mass 1 gram produces in it an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square or centimeter per second per second. Now, absolute unit of force in SI system is Newton. What is Newton? Newton is a force which when acting on a body of mass 1 kilogram produces in it an acceleration of 1 meter per second or meter per second square. Newton's symbol is capital N. Now, relation between different unit of force. 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg into 1 meter per second square. That means if we will convert 1 kg to gram, 1000 gram into 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So 100 centimeter per second square. That means 1 Newton is equal to 1000 gram into 100 centimeter per second square. It is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. So this is a very important relation between Newton and dyne. Now gravitational unit of force. Gravitational unit of force in CGS system is gram weight. The acceleration produced in a body towards the center of the earth due to gravitational attraction is called the acceleration due to gravity. It is usually represented by the letter small g. The value of small g is different at different places. But generally, we take its value as 981 centimeter per second square and 9.81 meter per second square. Sometimes it has been, generally we take, sometimes we used to take 10 meter per second square also. Because 9.81 meter is approximately is equal to 10 meter per second square. Now, 1 gram weight is equal to 981 dyne and 1 kilogram weight is equal to 9.81 Newton. So, this is the interrelation between absolute unit and gravitational unit of force. Now, in SI, the gravitational unit of force is kilogram weight. What is this? The force with which the earth attracts a body of mass 1 kilogram towards its center is called 1 kilogram weight. So these are all the unit of forces and all are very, very important. Students, here is your homework. First one, state Newton's first law of motion. Second one, what is the difference between inertia of rest and inertia of motion? Number 3, give the mathematical expression of Newton's second law. Number 4, what is the relation between dyne and Newton? And number 5, it is dangerous to jump out of a moving bus. Why? Thank you, student. For any queries or doubts, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Send your homework at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com.